Hello, leaders, and welcome to a brand new week of Run to Your Leadership Challenges. Hey, in the spirit of keeping this show upbeat and fun over the last couple of weeks, this week I am going to share some leadership lessons from Dr. Seuss. That's right, you heard me right. Leadership lessons from Dr. Seuss. Every day this week, I'll be discussing a leadership lesson from a different Dr. Seuss book. To start things off today, I want to talk about the book One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. You know, it's funny how simple leadership is, and yet many people try to overcomplicate it and make it seem like it's only for certain people. Well, that's just not true. Everybody is a leader to a certain point, and everyone can learn to be a better leader. This week, my goal is to show you just how simple leadership principles can be as I pull valuable leadership lessons from the common children's books of Dr. Seuss. The book One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish is full of funny, quirky things throughout the book, and they really don't make a whole lot of sense. But they're fun to read, and it's a good book for children to learn how to read on. Several times in the book, it asks random questions like, why are things sad or mad or bad? And whether or not something is good or bad? And why are things different? Each one of these questions is answered with, I don't know, go ask your dad. Or, we don't know, go ask your mom. And you know, that's the leadership lesson that I want to talk about today, because whether you want to admit it or not, leadership is much like being a parent. Your people, your team members are always going to come to you with questions, and they want to get an answer from you. You have to answer a lot of common questions, and some questions that really just don't make a whole lot of sense. But your people count on you regardless to give them an answer. Naturally, you can answer their questions immediately if you know the answer. But is that always the smartest thing to do? I would say to answer them by asking them questions. Go into coaching mode and ask them questions that will lead them to the correct answer. That not only allows them to get the answer, but allows them to learn in the process. And it allows them to be more confident in their own abilities. Now, the real challenge comes when you really don't know the answer to your team member's question. How do you answer them if you don't know the answer? Although this is a challenge, it can be an extremely valuable moment for both you and your team member if you handle it properly, and you can both grow. How do you respond to your team member that asks you a question that you just don't know? Would you refer them to somebody who may know the answer? Would you simply tell them that you didn't know the answer and send them on their way? Would you tell them to go look it up in a book? Would you go tell them to watch a YouTube video? Now, all of these are ways to answer their question that you don't know, but would any of these ways allow both of you to grow? Well, of course not. So here's my tip to you. I would say to be upfront and honest with your team member who is asking the question that you don't know. Tell them how great of a question it was, and that you just aren't really sure of the answer. Then follow it up by telling them that you'd like to go find the answer with them. You see, that way allows you both to grow and learn together. And it allows your team members to see that you are not perfect, that you don't have all the answers. And that is perfectly okay. Let's face it, none of us are perfect, and none of us knows everything there is to know in this world. We are all continuously learning and continuously growing. And that's what I absolutely love about leadership. Today's challenge is for you to recognize any topic or responsibility that you aren't really super familiar with, and take about 30 minutes of your day to learn something new. And while you're at it, bring one or two of your team members along and learn together. Grow together. Show them the value of continuous learning. Hey, that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. And if you enjoy this show, I'd greatly appreciate it if you leave me a 5-star review on whatever platform you listen on. As always, thank you for listening. Until tomorrow, run to your challenges.